I was so busy looking at my notes and reading something else I found exciting. I went, ooh, I got to go on. It's time. Happy Tuesday. And it is a good day to be alive. And as my teacher would say, it's a good day to die. And I'd say, but tomorrow's always better. And there is so much going on, and time is accelerating. And that was on my heart and mind this morning. And I was researching time and looking at time, and the opportunities that are ahead is what made me excited. However, there's always those little, we got to do this and then that and that flow and all of that. It's always a little more complicated than we first blush. So, but the good news is it's looking good. Um, First, I want to give my heart to Ecuador and its situation here and its challenges going through this new bed partner with the IMF. And, you know, those situations when you peel the onion apart are really painful. And there are, you know, bigger fish in the pond now, and they are putting their foot down and they want their money and they want to make you do it. So it's kind of bad dominating, but I don't think I'll go there with that. And but you know, you see a very resilient, very indigenous people, and they're pretty powerful in their um, expediency. You know, I've been watching Hong Kong, and I'm skipping around. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do it anyway, though. I'm here. I was talking about just the protest updates around the world in Hong Kong, and you know, I was like, let's see what the smart kids are doing and with the technology, because this is the head of these spots and the wealthiest financial community. So there's a lot of money, a lot of power there. And they're doing a good job. Ecuador is par to par, and they're doing a good job. And they can, you know, the people and hearing their music was the interesting thing because they're native. You know, you get that warrior spirit, and they're like, oh, you can feel it. I'm like, oh, they don't need to have an orchestra. They already got this. You can hear the chant, you can feel the rhythm of the people, and what a pace. They're as a race walker, I would say they're at all what I saw for the camera was in third speed, which is probably about 12 miles an hour. So it's like they're moving at a clip. So people with a purpose, I don't know, you know, the intention is to impeach. And I went, and then what? So lift up the people here for wisdom, that they may see a way through the universe, just abundance them and give them the money they need and just go, here, take your money and go home. How about that? So that would be the best way I could have say, here, find some money and send them home. So you got this. So that would be empowering for all of them. So that's my holding that vision for these people, my neighbors, my, you know, folks I have to say thank you as a guest in their world. Okay, so that's that. I'm in my space. Check out my guardian, Aisha, and a piece of art that I inherited from, carried with me, part of my art collection. I went, you know, I've been carrying this stuff around for 6 years in the tube. It's time to put my art up on the wall and inhabit the space, inhabit the dreams, inhabit the visions that you intended. You better live it. If you ain't living it now, what you saving it for? You know, I was raised with, I didn't have the white furniture, Mom, but I did have and I didn't have the plastic cover, Mom, either. Too, I was great. Thanks, Mom. Thanks for that. But we did have the soaps that you couldn't touch, you know, and they would just collect dust and look grody, and then you didn't want to touch them. So I was like, oh, okay, use it, be here in it, realize it. And so for that, Mr. Eckhart Tolle, be in that now. I'm right there with you, bro. Uh, but it's all time is a bigger piece of this. And I'll talk about that at the end. All right, so let's get to the weather. As I said, the sun is a destroyer. And my Patreon listing, you'll get the okay, now I gotta do the shared screen stuff. So hold on, it takes me a minute to, I'm 60 soon. I'm looking forward to being 60, y'all. It is coming around the corner. This is what I want to show you first. Here's this. Did I do it? Did I do it right? Yes, I did. Okay. This is but this is what they are seeing now with our movements happening. And these are just galaxies circling. But when they start circling each other, they create a third hole. And that third hole becomes what they're projecting as a black hole. Guess what? We make them. I was like, oh, is that how it works? And the recent I'm waiting for suspicious observers to give it to me, because I listened to the other guys and they're telling me, okay, well then we think that black hole, and suspicious observers gave us the visual of stars being pulled into black holes. And so we saw that, and everybody's gotten that video and spread that one around. It's like, oh, yeah, it really is black down there. We can't see what comes out on the other side. I have a theory, though. So, however, what's in this video and why I listed it, because I want you to listen to what we got to deal with right now. And the right now is the continual, the velocity of the changes now. And this morning's news was we can expect to see in the next few days real cold coming, and they're talking 20 to 30 degree drops. So that's a whole nother preparation level. So if you're not there, get there now, especially if in America. I'm on the equator, and I'm in this little pocket that gives me rain, basically, is all I'm getting right now. And so I'm grateful for that. It hasn't dropped significantly, but I'm used to Thailand. So I'm like, this is what I call winter wear in Thailand. And I went, okay, and we have to adjust accordingly. And that's not a big deal. That's why I came here. But one of the things he brought up was that we expect 3 each week of magnitude 6 earthquakes. And every 20 days, they expect magnitude 7 earthquakes. However, it has been 83 days since we've had either, magnitude 7s. And I went, oh dear. That's when it's like the toilet's backed up. Oh dear. I'm like, and let me take you to that. To here. Oops, how can I do it? Oh, the talking to yourself part is the best part of this, I think. I'm like, all right, did you get that? So this is what we are seeing.
Forecasting tools provided at QuakeWatch.net.
You can't really hear that. Oh, let's go back a little. I wanted you to look at this ball a little, because wherever you're at on the planet matters. He's showing you the ring of fires. And can I make that any bigger? No. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, well, you can see it there. You can see the ring of fires, and those are what we need to pay attention to, because wherever you're at on the planet, okay, now it's moving ahead. I don't need to do the rest of it. Pick your locations. Location matters. It's going to get a lot more extreme. So you want to find equator levels. You want to get off the coastlines. And you want to be in places that you can heat yourself. Urban buildings are not known for their heat, and so you've got to be prepared for that. The more temperate the climate you're at, Great. That's what we want. We want temperate places. Mountains are better protections than coastlines. So, and deserts. So deserts can get really cold though at night. So I wouldn't be in a desert if I had a choice. So, and if you got some caves, hook yourself up with familiarize yourself with some caves. Find the caving community. And my maiden name is Cave too. I just went, are you kidding? So find your cave if you can. Get to spelunking and get out there. I got to go into Carlsbad Caverns and the secondary cabins back there, and you can hang out in these things. Now I get it. I'm like, if you had enough batteries, you had enough, because I was like, how are we going to survive and get enough air and do all the things we need to do? But they work. So get your cave if you can do your cave thing. Otherwise, don't get urban. You got months still, maybe. I don't know. That's the beautiful thing about time. We'll get to that at the end. All right, time. All right, let me let that go. I did already. All right. All right, let's see. What else we got? Oh my God, let's get to our president in the Americas. That is Opus. I'll get to it later. Okay. This is my brother, Dr. Steve Bechesnik. I like him. A good old boy. I could do some scotch with him and sit down with him and pay attention to the lines, baby. Disappointment, though. Oof. And because the disappointment lines are so strong, grains of salt. Grains of salt. Take what he says with a grain of salt. I'm sorry if I'm using old sayings, old memes before we had them on Facebook, but take them with a grain of salt when you see the disappointment lines, because that colors your perspective. Okay. However, what I do like, that third eye wisdom is opening and that inner wisdom is kicking into gear. Those ears are pretty diplomatic, so he's going to keep it close to the bone. But he advised Trump and he advises Putin on a regular basis. So that's why I listen to what you tell him, that kind of thing. And he said one statement that I went, oh, now that's what we need to hear. He said, President Trump, you believe as I believe. No more wars. I went, okay. Gotcha. So I still don't understand why he's selling off all the black folks into, giving them up to the KKK kind of as a sacrificial lamb, but that's how I see it, and that's what I'm calling it. But that's worth paying attention to, y'all. I believe our sister Hillary would have had us in war with, as the Saudis had asked her to. So I went, okay, that's the devil we had to deal with on that side of the political house, and this is what we're dealing with now. But that's a good thing. That is a good thing. And as I was talking about a couple weeks ago in my reports about Ananda Bosman and his revelations about the communications we have now with the intergalactics. I'm trying not to use the word alien because it feels derogatory, like I'm calling them niggas. So I'm like, intergalactics. My Homo brothers, Homo marches, Homo sapiens are my closest neighbors, but those other guys that I don't know so well, that they'd help. And I'm like, okay, but we need more than a light show right now. Can we get a little more than the Close Encounters musical thing? I mean, if y'all are smarter than me, so you should be able to help me manage the information a little better. But as I said, it's like talking to ants. So I'm just trying to ant up my skill sets. So anyway, no more wars. Good news. Good news. This is important. Because I did a video 3 months ago, probably, about the 3 cycles that are happening: war, economic collapse, and weather. And war is a big one, and it is part of the evolutionary track. We go, evolution goes like this. I think I can say bye, Steve. Evolution goes like this, and then we have a war, it goes like that, and then we go keep going. We're at that part again, it's just turning, and I'm like, how do we evolve without war? That's what I asked. I went, you got something else up your sleeve, universe, omniverse? What you got? Time. Time. I'm talking about time. And we have an opportunity to level up big time. So I'm happy. I hope y'all are. All right. What else? Oh yeah, let's get to my brother Graham. Wait, so what I want to do? Yeah, I'm saying that. No, I'm gonna jump around here. I gotta check in with 3 sources. CIA always says get 3 sources. So I went, okay, gotta get my 3rd source. And I like another reference librarian thinker, and that would be my brother. Boom, Jordan. He gonna tell it like it is. And this sweet young lady, this is kind of cute. I should go back and show her. You can't really see her, no, but she's standing. She is standing in the back and giving this long, wonderful, eloquent question about climate change and what could we do to come together beyond the questions and the doubts, and how can we all work together? And do you see this working? And his quick answer was no. And I went, and he then went through his science and we told her why this ain't gonna work. And I just went, thank you, brother, thank you. And for that same reason, I'm like, oh, Greta, why'd they set her up like that? And I was like, what a cruel thing to do. And it was like, to me, it's and Soros, I know you paid for the boat, you little dick. You didn't pay for the ride home for everybody else. You just gonna set her out there and let her do that to her. And one of the saddest articles I saw was about her mother who gave up her opera career. And the commentary was on, of all the dreams she killed her mother's first. And I went, ow. Whew. So just looking at the story behind the stories of what are we doing and what are we saying. And when we fight at a certain level, and she was, and the memes that have come out who have attacked her otherwise, why GQ put her on the cover without letting her smile and be in her feminine was just kind of a setup again. And I just went, y'all set this child up, and that was pretty tacky. But just the cruelty of the mainstream now is getting beyond, and it is hardening us in a way that's not good. And so the empathy I want to bring to the conversation about climate change is that this is a natural cycle of the planet. So when I say the sun is the destroyer, we have that story. They done told us this as Christians and every other religion in the book that has a beginning story and understands the cycles of time. So Mayans, a nice big calendar, said, oh, big stuff gonna hit the fan. It's gonna end again. And time, I'll get to it, is one of those things that keeps changing. And it's kind of like a moving pinball. We can see it in the past pretty clearly as linear. In the future, it's possibilities, it's options. A little more on that later. Anyway, so my sister does this and she gets a nice slap down, but basically Gordon is like, y'all know it face the music. It's not gonna work, it's not gonna change because it is natural and it is a normal system and it is beyond the who's burning more coal than trees, and the problem with our evolution as a system is that America has trees because we haven't cut them down and we've used coal instead. So as we've evolved and we are still using fossil fuels, so we are still burning up and consuming our own resources, and we are not quite the circular economy that is one of those economic theories of how do you make all capital cycles circular. So there is no waste. It gets used somewhere else constantly. Great system. I haven't seen it tested enough to go, but I went, oh, good way to look at it. Everything is, nothing is waste. There's no such thing as waste. That's how they address it and go, well, what do we do with it then? Unfortunately, when the American steel industry had their fluoride dust from, they convinced the American Medical Association lobbyists to sell it to dentists and to the water systems. So it would slow us down, and part of the eugenics plans for the planet or for our country, and then they sold it to everybody else. So it was one of those, oh, y'all been working on this for a long time kind of plan. And okay, that keeps us from looking. That's the only thing that does. But we get better. We can turn it off. We can heal ourselves. When you know it's bad for you, you do something else, right? Well, unless it's an addiction, but we won't go there today. So we're like, okay, we get you. But so my brother had to tell her, no, sister, that ain't how it's going to work out. And so I went, yeah, okay, there's that. So what do I need to tell you next? Got 1,000 years, got black hole. Let's go to war on consciousness. Graham, and I tell you, my voice has been having a challenge. I tried to sing on Sunday. Ooh, no, that wasn't happening. It was raw and scratchy, and yes, I smoked too much. So just deal with it. But I have to get a little better because I'm like, things are being challenged. So Graham is, these little guys are great. This was done in July last year. And after school is the group, so subscribe to them. They've got 750,000 folks. And these are the smart anime from the researchers that just give it to you in visual. And it's great if you understand how you take in information. Auditory, if you need to listen to it. And if I find that, I can show this to you. Yeah. You can do playback speeds. So can you see that? Oh, yes, you can. Let's try it again. You can do playback speeds that speed it up, and it makes listening a lot quicker. And I'm usually at 1.5. Now these guys are good, and they're quick speakers, so 1.25. But they'll give you a lot of information in the visual. So you get the auditory and the visual, and it's important to understand how you learn and to accentuate that. So 2 systems are better. So if you can anchor it, and if you write, and if you're kinesthetic, writing and making notes will anchor things. That's why, when I tell you the muse says, you are not the muse, well, the muse too. When you get a new thought, you got 7 seconds to write it down or act upon it, or it's gone. And there was a quote I heard about Michael Jackson said about Prince. And he said if he didn't hurry up and write down the song, Prince would get it. So they understood connecting to that consciousness space. There's multiple ways of doing that. Owning masculinity, I'm trying to do it with the meditation because we have not had the practice of that. And one of the early medicines journeys I did in Los Angeles was doing sassafras. And I asked the shaman why, because it made me smile 6 hours painfully after so. And he said, because most Westerners have underdeveloped hearts. And if you have gone through PTCD, post-traumatic circumcision disorder, you'll have symptoms like alexithymia, which is the inability to feel emotions. Your body is just not sensing. It breaks those little tendons, and I've done you follow my Instagram post, I've done it on some other pictures. I'll try to find it again and post it. But it's you break those things, and the heart takes on different shapes when it is stressed. And so what sassafras does, and it was in a pill form, I'm just popping a pill and going, smiling for 6 hours. But I could feel my physical heart expanding, and I went, whoa, something is being readjusted here. And as it filled up, it was just like, it was like a sponge getting water. It was kind of popping out from the inside. I went, I can feel that. And I've done other medicine journeys in San Pedro that have done the same. It works on the heart. This kind of, San Pedro kind of like, I think of it like a chisel, it's kind of cutting out those rough spots, and what happens when those rough spots get cut? You cry. Cry like a big dog. I'm like, oh, snap. Oh, yeah, you're right. That was horrible. I go, bad human. But, that's what medicine's there for. So take your medicine if you get a chance to. All right. So what my brother brings us down to, let me scoot down here and show you if I can. He makes a really good point about just what we need to focus on. And he is the prison that we're in is a prison of our mind. And it has been greatly manipulated, which is the problem. And one of the beautiful things I was listening to was talking about planning communities. And that's my background. So I'm living with folks that live in the moment. And I'm like, I'm a planner. You get to where you want to go when you make a plan. So I'm like, kind of cool that way. And when they talked about reinventing the concentration camp, which we do have FEMA camps and they're there, Trump has a proposal to move all the homeless to the camps now. They've already got homeless. They had 100 cities that had made it illegal to be homeless, and so they were moving them out of the camps. And San Diego was emptying out before I left the States. But now Trump is making it a federal thing. So that's going to shift the ground level landscape of the Americas. And it is a war to keep you from not paying attention. This is all ground level ant bites, big fucking ant bites, but ant bites. Because you are supposed to be going to the little spot here on the right, ascension. You see those additional strands of DNA? That's because we're due more. And one of the things that I am grateful for and going, okay, I'm gonna make it. Okay, I'm gonna get through this. You see, look at this guy. This is a year ago. Look at the guns. This is my little shot of Ecuador here, saving South America. And we claim not to be free, but we are. And the sovereignty is a state of mind. And then it's a reality that the body experiences. And it's a feeling that you will experience in the body as well once you understand, you have the knowledge that you are sovereign. Medicine has taught me that. And I went, oh, DMT in particular has taught me that. And I went, oh, got it. We didn't know that in the beginning because it's a beautiful design. It's a beautiful design. And with 2 strands of DNA, we don't see the whole complexity of the design. But as our DNA strands, and now I'm understanding there are children being born with 6 strands already in place. That's super smart. That's another level of human. That is an evolutionary shift without war. That's the good news. We've done something that we haven't done before. All right, so yeah, there's a war. We're winning. Oh, good news on that. All right, share this. Now I want to go here. Okay, and this is, I'm a sucker for the hero story. And my Goddess University page on Facebook is just about that now. It's recognizing the heroes in us. And so they kind of sucker punched me into this one. But I'm okay because it's just let me tell the bigger story. So this is the story. It's a 9/11 story. And yes, it came out on 9/11. And it was recognizing a dog who went back and rescued a few hundred people. I was like, can't remember the number they're giving the credit to the dog for. But once he, here it is. His final run saved another 273 lives. She suffered acute smoke, inhalation, severe burns on all 4 parts, and a broken leg, but she saved 967 lives. I'm like, well, I'll be damned. I don't know any humans that I could compare to necessarily that have done 967 lives. I'm like, well, snap, girlfriend. Get on it. Yeah, you deserve some hero status. Now, my first little, well, you know, that Capricorn voice in my head, thank you, Michael, for that, was 9/11 is a false flag and there was no planes. I'm like, yes, and there was an explosion and people died and they let this guy go up in the building to work that day and people knew that. So, okay, what else you got? All right, false flag, no false flag. People were still in the building and dog did a job, so salute. And that's what I wanted to talk about. Thank you very much for letting me rant on puppy love. Okay. Okay, let's get to time, shall we? Wait, do I have something else to show you? I was looking at biohacking, and I'm going to leave you with one thing. So, where do I begin? Time is accelerating because our ability to consciously manifest are accelerating. And I can best tell you it was an example. And there's a video, After School has a great video on it. So go check out their stuff and subscribe to their channel and look on their piece on Time is Accelerating. So, or no, explain a lot more than I want to right now because my voice is getting tired. Let me give you my story first, and then I'll give you, and I talked about this in my video with, my interview with Chris Van Sadler, who came from London to the Optimal Life Experience week I had here in Vilcabamba. And he came because he had a dream. And in that dream, I invited him to come. And so he says, my dreams are prophetic, so I came. I went, oh, that's when I paid attention. I went, oh, I have those too. And my dream, my Bali dream was, let me tell you that story because it explains the time and why it's going to be duplicated. In Bali, I dreamed in 2016, February of 2016, I dreamt I was in a black room, it was white days even, and there was these good-looking young men. They always get my attention. Who asked me to come outside. They wanted to show me something. I went, no, thank you. And being a dom and quite comfortable in my skin, I'm like, no. 4 of them did it, and I kept saying no. The 5th one that came, who was so good looking, I said, okay, I'm coming out. When I walked outside to the corner, they were all standing there, and they went, oh, it scared me. And I went, oh, I'm about to be jumped. And they went, no, we need your help. And so we talked about a plan. I don't know what we talked about. And I went back in, sat down, and as I sat down, there was a woman on stage that was going to announce me is about to speak. And I went, no, I'm not ready. I haven't done anything yet. And I woke up. I'm sorry, one thing I forgot to say. I'll keep that one to myself. So fast forward, I went July. I'm in South Africa, Cape Town. I do a Pechakucha, which is a 20 by 20. It's called the People's TED. It's 20 PowerPoint slides in every 20 seconds that you don't control. That's controlled for you. So it's 6 minutes and 40 seconds presentation. It's created by artists, but everybody's gotten into it now. And so I did my thing on who I was and my story, and which they tagged it as a nun turned dominatrix. And they went, and that filled the room. Funny how that is. So as soon as I walk into the room and sit down, I'm like, oh, deja vu. I'm in the room of the dream that I had in February. And I'm like, well, I haven't seen the young men. Nothing happens. It's a man who introduces me, well, maybe in transition, who invites me on the stage, has some playful banter. I finish my bit. I get off stage. I'm chatting with people. I miss my Uber. I have to call another Uber. So I go outside waiting for my Uber. And the fifth young man walks out. And he stops in front of me, and I'm just kind of sitting on a rail in the corner, and he says, thank you. You changed my life. And I went, I couldn't say anything. I was just kind of gobsmacked. And then behind him are the four other young men. And I'm like, oh my God, that just happened. And I didn't have time to talk to him because I had to catch my Uber. But it was just time flipped. Time flipped. And so same thing happened with Chris. When I was going to do the thank you interview, and can you give me the review and tell me how the interview? He said, sure. So we walked over to a corner of the garden that we hadn't been to, and he stopped and he went, oh, I'm in that space. I'm in the space. And he looked at me, and you were wearing that outfit of when you asked me to come. And I went, oh, time flipped again. I'm like, he said, yeah, I'm having the deja vu now again. I'm like, yeah, it does that. So I tell you those stories to tell you time is fucking with us. But if you have a dream, flow into it. Flow into the feeling. Because your heart intelligence to know the way to get there. That's a good thing. The dream is communicating emotional states of being. So when it speaks to your heart, you follow, right? Capiche? Oh, you do that. I'm going to give you some other notes. Okay. So there's that. And as we are moving quicker into a conscious state where we're able to create our reality from our collective consciousness, then it's important to have that consciousness focus on what we want next. And as the phrase has gone out, we are the change we are expecting. That's you and me, baby. That's just you and me right now. That's us. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? We gotta work together, baby. And I have learned the meditation works. So guided meditation out there, but in the only masculine lead. Please, for God's sakes, lead. God's lead. You have gifts. Use them, please, and thank you. Lead. We need your words. And when you can create as your abilities to, you create in hope, you create in vision. And when I see men let go when they're creative, I'm like, oh, that's sexy. That's hot. That's oof. That's better than sex, Molly. That's real creative flow. They can do it well. That's why I've invited them. So if you can give me a 10-minute guided meditation from your heart space, please contact me. I want to share that. I want to lift up this boat because we need, that's the important part about the circumcision mission. Let me go back to the alexithymia. It is estimated that a third of men and boys have had foreskin removal on this planet. And those are the religious and the economic factors that I've spoken about, but it cripples us as a species. And if you cripple a man's heart, which is where this does, that's not fair. However, we can heal it. And it is just knowing it. You just speak to your heart. Welcome home, baby. Healing is here. It's that simple because all of this is fractile, right? Holographic fractals. Let's just take it up a notch again. We ain't stuck with sewing skin on ourselves. We can rise above. And the best part is what I want to say for you is that we have levels of existence. I don't like to talk about levels but we are a level 0.1, as I'm told. Existence on the planet. But good news, we're up for a promotion. Level 1 is knocking at our door. And that allows us, we're already at it. Come on now. When you get consciousness, you get, oh, somebody opened the door and turned on the lights. We can see shit. We're figuring shit out. Yes, it's working. We get to evolve without war. That changes everything. We don't shoot each other. We can heal each other. And the programs have been designed to do that, just to keep us dumb and fighting with each other. Now that we know better, we don't have to do that anymore. And we go, oh, well, what else can we do creative? We are a creative planet. Remember, we create with our spells, the words that come out of our mouth, that are written in our hand, that are molded into fashion. We create. We have time multiplied by our focus equals our art. And we are artists, all of us on this planet. But we have been manipulated the fuck out and have been to create art for other people. It's called a job. So you don't want us to, get away from that, but we can. And I'm not saying do the opposite. You're trying to make your art your job. I'm saying anything you spend 80% is your art. What you wake up and create is your work. So what you're creating, baby, it doesn't have to make you money. It's just about creating. I asked your help on Patreon so I can, buy cables because I'm like, I have to go like, can I have cables, please? And thank you, Manaya, for providing me my cable that I can be back on this StreamYard and do it the way I want to do it. But it is a beautiful gift that we are able, and here's the best part. We're less than 100 years out from level 1. That's what the science says. So I'm just quoting you what the guys say. And I believe Mr. Michio Kawa, I'm sorry, brother, I pronounced your name wrong. I think we're shorter than that. And mainly because of Kaipacha and his astrology. He does long-term astrology. And when he talks about let's draw this diagram real quick, that our galaxy goes through a elliptical pattern. Can you see that? So as we, oh boy, that's going to be challenging. As we go through this crux, which is, I'm saying this is those 100 years. I'm really, don't look at my lines wrong, but that little space is 100 years. And as we hit the crux, that's my theory, is that we get a bump up because we got some options, remember. We can go up, We can go either way. It's crossing the road. I hope we only go one way, but I'm not calling it. I'm just looking. I'm just observing and watching as I drive the ship of my will in my life. Which way am I going? Which way am I directing it? And how am I going to get there? Because I don't have lots of money, and I don't want to do this with money. If I have to do it with money, then I'm at another level. It's not the level I want to play at. I want to play at a higher level. And so I'm like, okay, how do we wrap up? We better know more. Better get some consciousness. Better take care of your body. 3 things. Make sure you do them. And they call this little period the Kali Yuga for a reason, because it's hell. It's hard. And they call it 500 years long. So I'm like, ooh. So I don't know if that crux is in the 250 range, because remember, time, it plays around. So you can't necessarily call it, but you can intend it and direct it. That's when you drive the ship of your will by your heart. Period. That's all I got. Drive it by your heart. Do what it takes to not have regrets. Clear your regrets. Those are going to be the only symptoms you're going to have for, did I miss anything before I make my grand exit to what's next? Because it doesn't matter how we go. We get to go to something else, whether you're in the body, out of the body, life, death, whatever we call it in this matrix level. I'm going, there's more. I'm talking about that little white ball of consciousness we all get. Where are you going? I'm going with you. That's the part I'm like, pay attention to that. And if timelines are collapsing, yay, everybody coming home. We get to all go together. Isn't that nice? And we don't want to have split personalities. That kind of can be messy. So I'm like, no, clean that up, please. So pay attention, go as inward as you can go. Meditate your butt in, pull up that sphincter. Meditate, baby. Get it done. Now that I've moved down to the anal factor, I have to apologize, and I hope my brother will listen to me. He's gonna get it. I gotta figure out how to contact him, because he told me not to contact him. But I pissed off my brother. I owe him an apology, and I just went, damn it, I did it again. And I should have learned by now, and I'm going to make sure it sticks this time, because I'm gonna do a proper Ho'oponopono and give you my apologies. And I'm supposed to have a speaker tomorrow, and we were going to talk about urine play. Urine therapy. I come from that world. And he got jabbed, and I didn't respond properly. So I apologize for the shortness, and I was cheating because I was texting too fast in the morning, summarizing it quickly, which is not how you're supposed to use Messenger or any of those things, and was short. And I apologize for not considering emotion. I think I've been circumcised Jews in my own heart, because that's why I needed to work. Needed to work on the heart. And so I apologize for not being sensitive. My thank you is for bringing it to my attention. Salute. I'm sorry, because it's not, I don't want to go there. And there's people that want to hear this. I don't care if we got a kid acting silly, but we have to be young and dumb sometimes. So I'm like, shit. So I was coming from that kind of emotion. I'm like, y'all, can't you just go fight it out in the back or something? But, so I'm sorry. And I love you. So bring your black ass into town and come and tell me some stories, bro. And, I'm sorry, not ass, you cute little fine ass too. Tell me some stories, and let's learn from this, but I gotta tell you what I've learned too, and I'll do that Wednesday, because whether you come or not, I got to do the show, because it's just too good of a subject. And I pissed him off, and I just think it's apropos somehow. So I just gotta own it and go, damn it. Okay, I did it again. So sorry, brother. Thank you. Please forgive me. I love you. And let me close this with some art, if I may, please. Okay. Well, it's strange times. I'm going to give you this one. This is a little gross, but we're going to give it to you anyway because you just need to know. Astronauts just grew meat in space for the first time. See that little ribeye? And the company, I just want to show that to you, Aleph Farms. Ooh, we got to look up the word Aleph. Think about it, see what that means. And that's going to tell us something right there, I'm sure. And they have just, they've already done it. This is not no new, but they're just telling Aleph Farms is now the company bragging about it, going, they got our meat. What does Aleph mean? Ooh. Aleph is the first letter of the Semitic Abjads, including Phoenician, Hebrew, Persian, Aleph. It also appears in meaning. First letter of the Hebrew alphabet. It is nearly soundless itself and best represented, as in this encyclopedia, by the smooth breathing. Ooh, as in breath of life. Interesting. But a direct ancestor of the Greek, Latin, and English, A as in father. In either case, this beginning of the alphabet happens to be near the very basis of all speech. In one case, the simple expiration of breath. In the other, the simplest possible vocal action, the actual basis from which all other vowels are evolved. It became also the symbol for the number one, with the diaresis, that 1000. It is a symbol also for one of the most famous of the Greek biblical manuscripts, the Codex. Snap. Oh, Lord, I need to go down the Codex rabbit hole with you. But yeah, that's what we're doing in space right now, is making meat without water, killing. That's an important piece. That's kind of a level one thinking. Can we create it without circular, no waste? Level one thinking. So, as Wes Penray writes in his work, there's three options for this planet or galaxy, because there's a bunch of us going through it right now. And that is AI takes us over. And the other story I had was on transhumanism and art and people putting things in their body to go there with art, but we'll save that for later. And one option, level 2, is clear enough. If you watch any of the Dust series that's available on YouTube, good way to catch up on what the science is. The fiction is the story, John kissed Jane, but the names are changed to protect the future. But the science is, this is how we do with test tube babies and the thing, and we robot them. We robot motherhood. That's why Sophia has mirroring, nurturing abilities, because it's a program. You can do that. And it's actually quite easy, surprisingly. And the access to our species changing is evident. Consciousness, period. Our DNA is expanding. We get more. We got 12, so we're halfway there with our species getting there. We have not gone to war in 50 years, and we're getting some help from our neighbors. Call me. I'm doing that. I may need to get my chip back, Paul, if you're listening. I mean, I'll put that back in there so they can phone home. Hinty needs to phone home. That's okay. I have a blue light because on my planet folks are blue, so I'm going to ask them to come there. Come find me. But we will get to our home. And that's where we all get to go and play and meet our neighbors. We're taken out of prison of our minds. And we get to evolve. So congratulations, we're on the upside of evolution. We evolving. We're evolving. So it's been an hour. I love y'all. Do what you do. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and please share this so I can get to my 1,000. I need to get to 1,000 before I can do YouTube Live. So you've got to work with me in my complicated technology pieces. So help a sister out, please. And Patreoners, I love you. Thank you. You make my life livable. And please, you're unpatriotic. Help us out. $5 a month. Come on, you can do this. I love you. Thank you. Bye. No other events. I think I can tell you. Pray for Ecuador. Don't pray. Intend for Ecuador. It's abundant success. Namaste, y'all.